What's going on, guys? Long time no see. Today, I'm finally getting around to making a video because I have some extra free time on my hands. And today's goal, and partially maybe tomorrow, is I have this roll bar from a 1992, if I remember correctly, Jeep Wrangler. It is the family roll bar style. It was given to me by a couple of my friends. They were holding on to it for a while because they were going to do something with it because they switched out for like the sports style roll bar. And they gave it to me because they knew I wanted to build some kind of brush guard or push bar for my truck. So that's the goal, is I'm going to cut this thing apart, stick it back together, and hopefully make something that actually works good and looks halfway decent. At least that's the goal. Alright, so this is that roll bar. It's got those two little kickers that go to like the windshield deal, I'm pretty sure, because they went from here and then forward. This thing's a little rotten, but it should be plenty strong for what I want it to be. This is going to be the passenger side, that's driver side. This middle section is getting removed. It's getting cut down here on both sides. These are going to be gone on both sides. I'm going to end up having to take two of these, put them together to make a crossbar for the middle. And one of these is going to be like the middle crossbar. Because like I'll have the top bar, the black thin middle, and then another red bar going across on the bottom. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm gonna get the camera set up. I'm gonna start figuring out which cuts I want to take first. These are gonna have to get cut off. Those are gonna have to get ground down. That's gonna be weird looking, which is fine. That's gonna get ground down. As long as I can grind this down flush and that down flush, I should be able to just lay it on this space to weld this side to that side, and then yeah, it's gonna be fun. That should be plenty thick for a brush guard.
Alright, so as I'm sitting here watching this and editing this, I feel like all these short pieces of time-lapse footage is kind of boring. So we're going to quickly jump ahead to where a lot of cutting and grinding has been done to make this not such a long, boring video. Yay! Alright, I got all this cleaned up. I'm going to tack weld this up. This one is a little bit longer. But then, once I get that tacked up, I can move it around, get those brackets on the frame, and eventually I'll fill those in once I know the height and everything's good.
Oh yeah?
Bigger than a tack, but I don't care. I want to make sure it's gonna hold. Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot these things are moving around too, so I gotta. Tacks here. Alright, that should be good to go. Move it. This one's good old one piece. Got so far. Gotta get that one on passenger side, that green one on driver's side. Clamp them into place first and test fit it. This I'll cut two pieces out of, one to the bottom of that, so they kind of sandwich each other and clamp together. Ah, dude, that's gonna be sick. Obviously, I'm gonna paint it black, and then one of these black bars is gonna go in the middle, and I'm gonna have the same size tubing going across the bottom. All right, so I didn't have just one piece long enough to make that bottom tube, so I got it in a piece of, like, I don't know, I think it's like 1 inch, 1/8 inch angle iron. I did bevel them a little bit. Probably should have done a little bit more. I'm gonna grind it right there. I got some tape just holding it in because I was trying to use this one. Then I was like, man, like with the pipe overhanging, when I try and hook the ground to it, it's gonna want to tip it. So I got this longer piece. I'm gonna make sure everything's lined up before I start welding it together. But this is gonna be the bottom piece, obviously, and then, like I said, gray or black bar in the middle, and on the back side. So like this is the front side. On the back side of that gray bar, I'm probably going to take pieces of like this bracket here, that one and that one, because they have holes already in it, because I do want to put 2 LED light pods on the front. I'm thinking like 5 or 6 inch round ambers buddy's in his truck just warming up. It is a little chilly out here. It's like 52 right now. He's super skinny. I'm fat and I'm moving around, so I'm staying warm. But yeah, I'm about to weld this up. About to do that, and then once that's welded, I mean, all I gotta do is measure it lengthwise. I'm gonna measure off this side because it's more straight than that side. And then, if I remember right, I'm supposed to measure a quarter of the, so, okay, my brain's having a hard time here. So, this is like, I think it measured out like 3 1/4 outside diameter. So I'll come in 25% of that, and it'll be here, and then basically I'd make a mark from 0 to 180, and then 90, and then whatever the other 90% would be. I can't math, but then draw sharp angles to it, and then I just kind of grind away at it. And once I get one good, like after grinding away, making it smooth, and once I get one good fitting up to the pipe, which I can use like any short piece of pipe. I don't think I brought it out here. Oh, yes I did. If I can grab it. I'll put the guy's name on the screen who gave me the idea, but once you get one good notch or bevel or whatever, make a template out of the like plastic, what's this, folder, there we go. And you can do it for like a 90 degree, which I'm about to do, 45, and then a couple in between. But then like you can tweak it as you need it. And this rain just keeps slowly, it'll come, drizzle, and it'll stop. As you can see, I stood on those. They flex a tiny bit, but then they go back straight again. So I feel like once the hoop's on and I stand on the middle bar, it'll hold pretty well. Alright, it is the next day. I just cut this piece out and I put 2 little baby tacks right there. Knees tap down here, tap down over here. This is gonna have a decent gap. Just cut out pieces of stainless exhaust pipe. It don't need to be anything crazy. There's enough strength there for what it's gonna do. Not going for exact perfection, just going for good enough. Cool, so got them all ground down. If I wanted to, all these like small little holes, I could just keep quick tacking them and grind them down. This one's a little bit worse, but this is the back side. This side's facing the truck, and like that too, and that, and that. I don't care. A lot of that's gonna get filled up with primer and paint, and it's gonna get smoothed down just a little bit more. Because I'm going to grind all the paint off, obviously. But the next step is going to be taking one of those black bars and making the center cross tube. Once I get that figured out, I'm going to get the bottom two figured out and the brackets. And once everything's all made, I'm going to pull it all off, scuff it all down, prime it, paint it, let it dry, install it. Right now it is currently, see, 1:21 in the afternoon. So yeah, not bad. It took me, call it an hour. Yeah, about an hour to cut both those out, grind, like cut the exhaust pieces out, weld it, grind it. So about an hour for both of those together. So that's not bad. So I'm gonna pull up that YouTube video I was referencing earlier and figure out what exactly, like the mathematician stuff, to get the proper bevel. My buddy pointed out, like, these got a bevel on it, but it's offset. But he was like, you probably could just follow that one on here and make it fit. And I was like, yeah, I probably could. But I think I'm gonna do it the other way, so I'm not sitting there just endlessly grinding for a couple hours on end like I have been. But there's still gonna be cutting, still gonna be grinding, still gonna be welding. I'll be happy if I get done by 8. That gives me a lot of time to do this. I don't think it'll take that long to do this. Okay, so I made a template. Let's see if I can roll this up in my hands, actually. Probably not. Anyways, I made a template for this size pipe to connect to this size pipe, right? So it would notch like around it beautifully. Now, since I had this, or have it, I could use this to make the other notch. That's the complete notch on that side. But since I'm not connecting this size pipe to that size pipe, I'm going to keep this template the way it is. That way, if I ever have 1 3/4 pipe that I need to do a 90-degree on, I have it. And then I went ahead and made one to go from the 1 3/4 to 3 1/4, which is the red pipe, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna write it down. Same thing on here. Just that's the filter stuff, right? But what I did, this is that one. This is the one for the black pipe to the red pipe. Anyways, so what I did was obviously ground down the paint so I can make a mark, center the notch on both sides, drew it all the way down, drew it to where the middle of the notch should be on the inside of this pipe on both sides, which was 28.5, roughly, something like that. This does taper outward about 1/4 inch, because up here where I'm putting this bar, it was like the 28.5. Down here is like 28 3/4. Anyways, so when I take that, let me grab it actually. Let me set it on here. So I'm going to take my template, I'm going to slide it on here very carefully so I don't screw it up and go the other way. Maybe. Oh, come on. You got this. There we go. We ripped the tape a little bit. So I'm sure this is all in frame beautifully. So I know the lowest portion needs to be about right there. So I need to scoot this up just a little bit, about right there. And it pretty much lines up. I can sit here and I can screw with it just a little bit, but I'd rather cut it big than cut it small. Because if I cut it small, then I gotta start all over. So I'm gonna get this cut out. I'm gonna get it beveled. I got this one nice and beveled. I might bevel a little bit more, but once that's all said and done, once it's fitting nice, I'll come back to you guys and get her welded in. Okay, so this is how I labeled this one. I need to put a line on this one, like in the center of the notch. I will here in a minute, but that's how I label them. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. 90 degree for a 1 3/4 to 2 1/4.
and I drew a little diagram. But I feel like that makes it pretty simple. At least putting the diagram on there to destroy the confusion. But yeah, so I need to cut this one out. What I could do first is, so I got a flat spot here and a flat spot there, right? So I could just straight cut that if I wanted to, and then channel in and then grind out to make an actual swoop. I might do that. I think what I actually might do is just go ahead and just go at the angle, and because I'm just gonna throw that part away, throw it in the scrap bucket and take it to the scrapyard later. But I need to change out the wheel on that, get to cutting all that. I have not made it quite to the line yet, but I do want to test fit this to see where we're at here. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I'm expecting some gappage. Which, yeah, it looks like my first one. Yeah, the first one fits better. Let me try flipping this around. Since it does taper the hoop. Come on. Looks like this way it kind of fits a little bit better. So that's still a little warm on my hands. So we will call that good. I'll get it measured out. Oh, yeah, I have a Sharpie right here, so I'm going to put a T for top. Well, I guess I could also just be like, hey, dummy, you got your holes on the front, but you originally said you wanted on the back. But that works. Now, I do eventually want to put, I was thinking like 6-inch round LED light pods in here. I want to put 7s. I want to put 4 7s on the top of the headache rack in a white, and these two I want to be amber. Ouch! Got like metal on my leg or something. That's awesome. So I want to keep that in mind because I know the light's gonna be 6, and it's gonna probably have like say an inch tall thing, which can be adjustable on the back side. So I'll cut the metal to have the brackets, but I'm not going to weld them onto this yet, just in case I decide to go with a light bar instead. But I like to look at the old school, like, Baja style lights. So, either way, I'm going to keep that in mind. God, I'm so happy with this so far. First time doing notches, they're not the best, but I'm happy with it.
2 hours later.
Okay. So the main hoop is stripped, the middle tube is stripped, the bottom tube I have stripped. I have the V-notch marked up. I have one side marked all the way down, kind of probably hard to see. Same thing with the other side. So there's one side of the notch, there's the other. I'm going to make this side fit, make a template, and then measure from what would be there to there, there to there. Same way I did this one. I measured
inside notch to inside notch. Since I already have the primary lines there, all I gotta do is take a template, move to where I need to, and start cutting. That is a lot nicer. If I really wanted to, I can just trim right in there, just to make that suck up just a little bit better, put more of a swoop in it. Oh yeah, that is money. Oh. There's some decent gaps there. That's awesome. Time to make a template, do it on the side. Yeah, good enough. I hope I got that right. Oh, dude. Oh, dude, I could not be happier with that fitment. Like, there's some gaps, yeah, but like that's actually kind of big pimping. I need something to, ooh, is this piece big enough to sit behind here so I can step back and look at it? Dude. Hell yeah. It's like, there's a tiny gap. You know, there's gaps, right? Okay. But like the fact I can just set the bar on it, or the hoop, and lift it up. Dude, I'm so ecstatic about that. Alright, I did a lot of work off film. So I got these guys welded on. It's not the most beautiful thing ever. The bolts are just hand tight right now. I'm actually about to weld the nuts on the inside. It looks pretty wicked. Still needs primed, still needs painted. I'm about to weld the nuts on. Pull this off, scuff it down, prime it, let the primer set, paint it. And once it's fully cured, slap it on and be done. I kind of want to make a plate that goes like here to here, so when I take it on and off, I just stick it there. I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. I probably won't even worry about it. But yeah, I'm about to weld those nuts into place. Currently 8:53 at night.
Ow! I burned my hand! At night.
And putting her in primer. Just had to get my headlamp because I can't really see out here. My outside light sucks. Oh, my buddy Jackson's here. In case any people wondered whose truck that was. This looks awful. Not much of a painter. Oh, I'll set my butt down here. I'm just trying to get it all covered. I know that bottom side is not getting hit right now. We'll say that Sharpie is coming through a little bit on the color. Or, I mean, the primer, but on the color it shouldn't, because it's black on black. Trying to hurry up and get this done, because we're talking about going to see one of our other buddies. So, I'm going to keep layering this primer on nice and thick. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. And then I'm going to hit it with some black. And then I'll probably video it tomorrow, or take pictures of it tomorrow. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Alright, so it's been about a week. Actually, a little bit more than a week. But she is all done. You can totally see like where it was cut and welded, especially that bottom one, the top one. You know, the welds are not the best, but this thing's pretty sturdy. Yeah. So like, there's that, and then yeah, I'm 330 pounds. That thing's pretty freaking stout. So I am very happy with it. I think it looks totally wicked. I actually just got back from a little drive, 1 hour one way, to pick up this supposedly a 95 350 TBI. I say supposedly because he wasn't totally sure on the year, because he got it from another guy. But this thing's pretty complete. He gave me a spare set of cylinder heads, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm just gonna put her in the garage for now, take the oil pan off, check one of the main caps and rod caps, see what the bearings look like. I am gonna end up switching out the TBI system for a carbureted system, and yeah, this thing is pretty wicked. Yep, so that's pretty much all she wrote for this video. I need to dig this cherry picker out and the engine stand out and get this thing hooked up on there so I can take a better look at see what I'm dealing with on this one motor. English is not my strong suit today, but I need to clean up in the garage. I got a bunch of stuff everywhere, and fingers crossed that this motor is a good one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit a thumbs up, subscribe. You don't have to, but leave a comment. Tell me how your day's going. Tell me what your project is. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me.